Hey, group leaders, thanks so much for joining us. Once again, this week we are in a continual series of just helping you get ready for the fall. This week we have our special guest, Julie, who's one of our group leaders. And she was telling me a story a few weeks ago about looking at this COVID situation, not as looking for the opportunities within COVID. And Julie, tell me the story you were telling me a few weeks ago.
Well, we have seen our neighbors really come out a lot more since school shut down in March, and there's been a lot more kids outside because they've got nowhere else to go. And so it's been a really good opportunity to meet the parents of these children and get to know their families a little bit better. And even Friday night, we decided just to put a fire pit out on our driveway and start a fire, put a whole bunch of chairs around and just see what happens. And a couple of our neighbors kind of wandered out, a couple different families, and joined us for a little bit of time. And so it was a really good way to get to know them a little bit better and just make them feel like we are here, we're friendly, we're welcoming. And we really got to know actually one neighbor a lot better than we had before. So it was really, it worked out really well.
Cool. So it's good to see that you're serving your other neighbors and giving them something that they might not have in their life.
Yeah.
Carrie, why don't you share a little bit about your perspective and how sometimes we as Christians get bound with that idea that we have to serve others? What did you come up with? What are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I love this example of just being with our neighbors. So often we do get this idea that as the Christians, we always have to be serving, doing, caring. And all those things are really important. But it's really cool to listen to Julie's story about, just talking and being with your neighbors and doing those normal things in building relationships. So we know that being a good neighbor involves serving our neighbors and just being with them and hanging out and visiting. And there's a third one that I think sometimes it can be, for me, it's the toughest really, is this willingness to allow our neighbors to actually bless us. So I think about the example of Mary when she poured out expensive perfume on Jesus's feet and wiped them up with her hair, and Jesus accepted that gift, and he didn't need it, but he just freely accepted it and received it for what it was. And now it would be really weird if your neighbor came and actually washed your feet with their hair right now.
Did that happen on Friday night, Julie?
No, that.
Woo!
I feel the same way. We have a neighbor who has a small business, and he builds a lot of furniture. And he's often said to me, anytime you want firewood, you just come on over and you take whatever you want. And I feel like, man, how can I take from this? How can I take from my neighbor when I'm not giving him anything? So great ideas. Thank you so much for serving your neighbors, but also this idea of allowing them to serve you and build the relationship. Once again, thank you so much, group leaders. Continue to look for opportunities within this COVID season. We are praying for you. Have a great day.